Hey guys, Thursday, December 15th, 12:30 p.m. So coming into late US session, pretty much a dead zone for me. I don't really trade during this time. But I wanted to do a quick little update for myself as to where the markets have traded overnight and certain levels that are being tested or appearing. So starting off with the hourly, a lot of indecisiveness on the market's end. As you can see, the trend is very clearly to the downside. Um, and so far it's being respected. If you go ahead and look at the swing points on this thing, you can see we're making a series of consecutive lower swing highs. And let's stick this over here, and then we can go ahead and draw on the screen. So so one thing we're looking at here is these swing points. So you can see we have consecutive lower swing highs through here, which is a good sign. And as long as we can maintain these swing points, the downtrend will be intact. So at this point in time, this level through here is a swing high. Now, if the market breaks this on a closing basis and can maintain that level for an extended period of time, we may look to change our near-term sentiment. But until then, we have this clear series of lower swing highs, lower swing lows. And so over here in the near term, what we were looking at was we had this impulsive move which started right here and actually blew through this near-term level of support very cleanly. And as we pulled back, the support didn't necessarily hold on a lower time frame for an extended period of time, and we actually broke through. Um, at that point, price closed on the hourly below this level where this upward move started. Right. So if we think about it from a psychological point, um, anybody who got long or sucked into this move and didn't get stopped out was holding a losing position. And so every time we're below a structure like this one through here, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. So every time we're below a structure, like we did do over here, we actually closed below this that structure up there. Um, the people who got into a position here are in trouble. And our goal is to try and extrapolate on that and and look for further weakness to accelerate that pain. So one of the first trades that I took was a short as we came back into this supply zone. Now, as you can see, that trade did not work, and price actually shot up and closed above this bar. So at that point, that shows a good amount of indecision. As you might expect, when we are in a clean downtrend, prices generally prices stay below the previous bar's high, and they also for sure will close below. But again, you can see here we had almost no wick to the downside, an extended move to the upside, and a close above. Um, Beyond that, we started showing signs of reversal again, but you can see we had follow through. Now, the interesting thing here is we actually came back and broke this swing point as well. Um, so, if you think about it in terms of where the amateur is trading, they're getting long and then they're getting stopped out most likely, and they're probably getting short, and then they're getting stopped out on their short, and then they're probably going long again. As you can see, the market has pulled back again. So I think this was primarily driven by news. We had all sorts of news events last night, but looking at it now, it's still well within that range. So it's tough to say which way the market really wants to go. Um, I think we'll have to really just have to sit in our hands for a little bit and wait it out, and wait for maybe late Asian session, early London before we can formulate some sort of a game plan. At this point, because we haven't broken this swing point, I'm still primarily looking for shorts. Um, again, if the market can come up here and show me otherwise, then I'll gladly start to work into some long trades. But I think this is going to be the line in the sand, or at least this zone through here. So we'll call it between this level and this level here. So if price is able to break above this zone and maintain that, so ideally what we'd like to see is we would want to see just a nice little breakout of price here, and then a classic retest. And again, if we have significant evidence showing that there is some buying interest here, we would get long on the back of that with a stop just below, and then we look to target higher prices through here. Of course, a pullback is overdue, and it's visible on on these on the higher term time frames because we haven't had anything significant in terms of a pullback for a while now. However, that doesn't mean we can't continue lower. For example, if you're looking at the chart and you were just looking at this price action, right? You would think, yes, we've had a very extended move down. Maybe we'll pull back till this swing point or this swing point, but obviously in hindsight, you can see that the market continues down. And even here, anybody who's thinking, oh, maybe we'll be a pullback here, reality sinks in, and we sink another, 70 or 80 pips lower. So, just because something looks oversold doesn't mean it actually is. A lot of times, these extended moves, tend to happen all at once. Yeah, I'm very careful to the long side here. Shorts look good, if they appear at the top of the range. So, so pretty much any sort of push up and then a reversal at the top here would be great for a shot to the downside. But otherwise, it's sort of messy through here until we can, really just pick a direction and figure out what we want to do. Maybe best to stay away. So that's how things are looking right now. In terms of wrap up from last night, took 3 trades. Unfortunately, all of them were losers, just the way it worked out. With this price action, with this news, I can point them out real quick on 15-minute. The first one was right here off this candle. A little bit of confluence we talked about. We had this horizontal level, and then we also had the trend line coming in through here, so you can see how that corresponds with this candle right here. That one failed, and then our next trade was off this level right here. Once again, what happened was price. Remember, on an hourly, we closed below this structure, which was pretty much all of the structure, which was evidence that buyers were in control, or sellers were in control in the near term. As we pulled back, the thing to notice was the pullback was not as significant as the drop. So what I'm getting at is the momentum. And we can view momentum through the actual candle sizes. So in this case, we can do a quick example of what actually happened in terms of price action here. This is a trade right here. So what we can see is, we had 3 candles to the downside, and if we measure the, we'll call it 4 candles. Why not? So in 4 candles, we moved 35 pips to the downside, right? Now to recover that exact same move, it took us a total of 9 candles. So very simply, just with that simple method, you can see that there is a lot more selling pressure in the market than there is buying pressure, and for that reason, we want to be playing to the short side. So as price came up to this level, a few things set up. First was a halfway back from the high to the low. We had a very nice clean push up into there in a little reversal bar form. And then we also had this prior level of resistance through here, and that also lined up very nicely with this level as well. Right? We had a swing point here, and then we had swing point here, and finally when price came up here, we started to show some signs of reversal. And again, this was with the trend at that time, and also the hourly trend in a higher time frame, right? And then finally on 15 minutes, so if I this is a 5-minute right here. If I jump out of this chart and go to the 15-minute chart, which is right here, I should probably have a label on this. But anyways, one thing thing you'll notice here is that at that same point on the chart, we have a little reversal here as well, right? So that's another that's some added confluence. So we have the 5-minute, 15-minute, and also the 50% retracement and horizontal resistance all lining up at one level. So that's a pretty good sign. And again, the near-term trend as well. So that was a pretty solid play. Unfortunately, that one didn't work either. So that's 2 losses. And then the last one was a little bit more a little bit less or had less confluence rather. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, here we go. So that last one was right here. As you can see, this one was probably the poorest trade of the night, and then for that reason, I took it at half size. I didn't have the same conviction I did on the other two. Um, so I mean, it may have been better just to skip this one altogether, or maybe just wait for my exact entry. But either way, it didn't work out. So if this is a 5-minute again, let's just drop a label right here. If I go back to the 15, which is right here. So one thing that I did notice was if we look at price action on on the 15-minute, and I mark off this level, right? So this is a very clear level from overnight. So we had a support here, broke through. We briefly tagged it as resistance again. So you can see the market is respecting this level pretty cleanly, right? So what I tried doing here was again I'm still going with this move down. I know I still have that close below the structure, and with the idea of we're pushing back up into supply, as we came into this level of resistance here, this horizontal level, we put in this doji. All right. So this was 2 levels of confluence again with the trend at the time, and I want to take an entry now. So I went back to the 5-minute chart here, and I'll clean this up. And so one thing that I was trying to do on the entry was I had a sell limit order sitting up here at the green line. Now, unfortunately, I should have been a little bit should have been watching a little bit more closely and placed my stop limit right or sell limit right here, because you can see we actually had a couple of points of interest, a little bit lower, and so I just missed that entry by 2 or 3 pips, and price actually put in this little reversal bar right here. So what this told me was, yes, we did have a pullback on price, and again the selling momentum is slowing down if you look at the size of the candles. But when we did have an opportunity for buyers to step it up, they weren't able to hold on and actually closed it back within the prior range. So with that, I took a short at the close there, but a stop above the high here, where the initial plan was to enter short at the green line and with a stop above this high. As you can see, neither of the trades worked out. So if I hadn't taken that trade, I would have been filled on a pullback here, and then that would have gone in my favor quite nicely, actually 20 pips. But the ultimate stop out was the stop out did occur. So it would have been a question of would I have taken profits in that time? And the likely answer is I probably would have just moved my stop to break even. So I guess following the plan, and in this case, would have been a much better outcome. That's something I'm going to take note of and definitely keep with me going forward. What else? So here on the 5-minute, you can see we have a similar reaction to this level again. Price is coming up, putting a reversal bar, but because it's 12:40 late U.S. London is now closed. I'll skip out on any trades that occur because volatility really goes down, and quite frankly, getting 20 pips here is a lot more painful than getting 20 pips in London, where you can do it in a few minutes or a very brief period of time. So anyways, I'll be back during London and I'll pick it up.